Welcome, welcome. I am Insurgent Rat, and this is Aurora 4X. Exciting day today. Ori and the Will of the Wisp comes out today. It's been a really exciting year in gaming so far. What with more to come. What with the C# release of this game, of course. The Dwarf Fortress update I still haven't played around with much, and we've got Animal Crossing coming out, a Terraria update, and I think possibly Hollow Knight Silksong. Very, very exciting stuff. Very distracting stuff. Certainly impacting my productivity as a human. Oh well, there are far worse things in life than being too entertained. So, let's get back to this game. Now, I am a terrible person and did not update my notes spreadsheet, but I had a bit of a look around, and I think that what we had decided to do, or what I had made the executive decision to do, and which you are tagging along on, is to think about setting up a colony in here and to begin exploring from here. Now there are some cheaper colonies in Ross 128, but I think there are more minerals in Signy, and there are certainly more jump points. Of course, we don't know how many of them go to dead end systems, but we will find out. Now, with that in mind, there are a couple of things we need to do. So we need to have a military that reaches further. Our military currently deploys for not nearly enough time, has relatively slow engines, and is kind of bad. Also, it's sort of inefficient in that I would like there to be ships which can be variants of one another. I think that might be useful, and our sensor tech is rubbish and all of that thing, so we need to get that done. We're certainly ramping up industry, and we are currently hauling mines off this guy. We're upgrading our shipyards. I think that in general we need more bigness, so let's just keep rolling out size upgrades. I don't think you need to do anything, so you can do that. This one's going to finish. Yeah, we'll probably go like 60, 30, 50 or something. I think our terraforming isn't proceeding, as quickly as I would like, so why don't we make more terraforming bases? Now, let's just have a look at this place. So we're closing in on the temperature. Atmosphere is still kind of low, I think. Yeah, because we need to drop this down to 20. So we're closing in on the temperature. We might actually not need this much safe greenhouse gas. I might have done my maths a little bit wrong, although there's no harm in going up, because if we check out the gray over here, I think we've got 10 degrees, no, 24 degrees either side of that. So we can actually live on a kind of jungle moon if we want to. It's a waste of time though, I suppose. Although it doesn't actually take any longer to add safe greenhouse gas than, say, nitrogen, which we would need to add, because I think we have to drop this under, I want to say 20%. I guess we'll find out, because as we terraform, the colony cost will change. And right now it's, yeah, here we go, it's 2. So still not quite suitable. But I think we need more terraforming stations, and we need bigger tugs if we are to drag them further out, such as to, I think we can change the system from this screen. Perhaps we cannot. We will discover. We will learn. Signy, which we might give a cuter, more ratty name. So if we look at the colony cost here, they're actually pretty expensive. Some of them are, hey, this is a decent planet to mine. I mean, I don't know what those minerals are used for, but, there's a lot of them, and they're pretty accessible. Yay! Go away. Yeah, so we have some pretty expensive planets. If we look at the colony cost, there was a way it gave us, right, so that was just temperature, because you are, I want to say, very cold. Oh, where are you at? Okay, yeah, I want to say you're very, very, very cold. Fortunately, I think you have ice sheets. I think that's somewhere. Hydrosphere? No, you don't. Okay. There's this one, which is a bit easier to terraform, and it's just the temperature. So these would take quite a while if we want to set up little bases on them. I think we do. Although Mars would be a better candidate, of course. But yeah, so I think we want to churn out some more of those orbital bases and roll out more terraforming. And I think that something. My mind's gone blank. I think that what we want to be thinking about doing is designing military fleets that can be deployed for a little longer and designing the ancillary support for them. Now, we might need multiple military fleets. I've been thinking about this. Okay, dangerous activity, but I have, and we can make orbital bases that provide maintenance, so we can kind of do the overhauls further to the front, or we can just sort of accept that they have to fly back and have a bit more downtime, and so we just have more of them. And I think more of them is probably a safer bet. We can always cancel an overhaul, and then we just need some logistics fleets. So basically fleets which supply things like the maintenance supply points, or can deliver them when necessary. And obviously we need one of those to move them around between planets anyway. Because like an asteroid can serve as a cache of maintenance supply points. I was thinking, oh, the ship is going to be storing them and we're going to have to maintain it, and it's going to really suck because it's going to be out in space for 10 years at a time. But it doesn't have to be. It can just drop it off at a convenient asteroid, and then we can use that as a little cache to pick them up from, I think, because they can just be stored on planets. Like if we look at Earth right now, Space Earth, I should say, give it its full title. Somewhere in here. Yeah, like maintenance supplies. Like they're just on planets. So, we can actually just use planets or little asteroids or whatever as caches for maintenance supplies and stuff like that if we don't want to have them with the fleet all the time. And it would probably also be good to design a ship which has maintenance modules on it, just so if we do want to do maintenance around some random Mars colony, we can just fly a bunch of those out and be like, cool, you're maintaining these ships now, everything's happy. Although I will need to work out how the mineral expenditure works for modules like that, because if we look here, remember there's this little feature where we actually have to maintain them, which is kind of really cool. We're actually using a fair bit of iridium. Yeah, a fair bit, and uranium. Maybe that's why we kind of need so much. Yeah, anyway. So, yes, a lot of research to do, military research, because we're going to mint some new fleets. We're going to design the logistics things for our fleets. We're going to begin exploring. But first, I think, let's make a bigger tug. Because we can. And we need to. Because I think our tug went really, 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 really slowly. So I think the easiest way to do this would be to start with our bandicoot. Yeah, no, we'll start here. And we'll just copy as new, copy design. We will, what are we looking at? What was our thing called? The grappling hook. We will rename you to the, okay, there. Grappling hook Mark II. And with all this extra mass attached to it, we can get an idea of how fast and how far the combination of a bandicoot terraforming base and a grappling hook can actually travel and how long that will take. So, firstly, let's rename this to a tug. And my God, 1,000,000 tons. What did I do? That's literally a megaton. All right. So, we're going to need to whack more engines on this. Okay, so these are the big ones that were more fuel efficient. And I think this is a good place to start, because we're going to spend a lot of fuel hauling 1,000,000 tons around. Wow, 11 kilometers a second. That's really bad. So, why don't we start with the bold notion of adding 10 of these? So, 115. Now, we don't need to be super, super fast. It's mostly a question of distance. Realistically, it's mostly a question of distance. It's okay if it takes a terraforming base, which is going to be in place for a few years, 6 months to be deployed somewhere. Like, is it the greatest thing? Will I feel like a space badass? No. But it will be adequate. So that's 6 billion Ks. Say, oh well, we'll think about Cygni because we're going to deploy quite a few to Cygni, I think. So what do we got here? The reason I just do from the sun, by the way, is because that's an average of the Earth's orbit. So 2 billion kilometers. 61 Cygni. There are some Lagrange points here, so 4, that's 6 all up, and you know, Lagrange points are pretty close, I think. You know, like 1 billion. So yeah, okay. We'll just take the from the sun. So 6, and then what do we got? Another, so 8 billion kilometers, more or less. Okay, is kind of what we're talking about now. Will we want it to go further in the future? Of course we will, but we'll have better engines. So we want was 8 billion range, and you know, a reasonable speed. So we'll start with 10 pretty efficient fuel engines, and I just for sanity's sake, and in case it does something, I kind of want bigger fuel things. So let's actually, what are you guys working on? What do you got? Some missile stuff queued, that's fine. And you're working on active grav sensors. All of this is fine. So we will just cancel all of this and just really quickly get some better fuel storage. I'm just worried that there is actually overhead in what's sort of being modeled as like the walls and valves of the tanks and so on. And if we're going to be adding, you know, hundreds of them, then it's a bit dumb not to have a bit more of an efficient thing. So that would be under logistics. And we need this anyway. Yeah, it's like so cheap. So who's our best? Dominic Daniels, and you can take all 20 laps, so congratulations. That won't take very long. October, August, September, October, yeah, 2 months. All right, or 1 really. Take some turns. I don't think anything hugely important was happening, so this is probably just fine things to do. Oh yeah, and we probably need to get, I don't think we have any deep space installation like planetary sensor tech, which is why we don't see any sensor range. I think we want some of that. I think we want a PDC, a reasonable PDC design, because we do want to at least, if nothing else, stop the message spam. We built another Tom. Why did we build another Tom? Oh right, because we wanted a fleet of 5. Hang on, let me, the production overview. Yeah, we're building another one. It's almost done. It's taking slightly longer because we didn't have the spares. You're all fine. Imminent events, everything is good. Okay. I hope you don't mind that if I'm dragging it off screen. You know, if you prefer to see something like this on screen, blocking some of it, just let me know. I think it's just because of either it's going to be awkwardly cut off or it's just going to be blocking the whole view. Yeah, still, you know, just leave a comment if you prefer it, and I will change the way I'm recording, unless you get voted out, down. Yeah, so we got another ship, and whoops, pardon me. We want to pop you off into your own thing, detach, and we want to tell you, in fact, we want to add you to light shipping alpha, so we will add, no matter which of those buttons we click, and we will tell you to join light shipping alpha. And I think you'll just begin helping their orders, so it'll all happen a bit faster. So there we go. Oh, I really love this like naval order system. It would be nice with some helpful tooltips or like a reference that I haven't been able to find. Not on the wiki even, actually. I could, you know, just do some experimentation, but yeah, it's really lovely. I love the granular control, and just that it seems to have most features that you would want. It would drive you kind of crazy to have to do everything manually. Once you understand it anyway. Tom completed orders and got absorbed, so that should be fine. Our research should finish in another couple of ticks. And I think there might be one more beyond it. I think there's like large and huge. Yeah, cool. So we finished that. Let's pop over to the research screen again. What do we got? Very large. It's still pretty cheap, and we're probably going to want it. 1 million liters of fuel. Wow. Actually, let's see. Let's see how that compares to the current one. I might, just to make this list sort nicer, I might just put a space in front of my military ships. Like I did with the shipyards, on the advice of some random person on the forum, I think. Design view. We want to look at fuel storage. So large holds 250,000. And cost 30, size 5. So it holds 5 times as much. So the size scales linearly, but yeah, the cost is reduced. Okay, so it's not hugely important, but it is a bit of a waste of resources. It's super cheap. We should just get it done. Otherwise, it's going to be one of those things that's just sitting there and it's niggling forever and it's annoying. So, no, that's not what we want. We want you. Create. Yep. Yeah, it won't take very long. Okay, we'll just do some bigger ticks. Let's get this done. Let's design the tug. Shipyard modified, so we added Wilson Enterprises. Got some, that is the one thing that doesn't show up in this production summary, which is a bit of a shame. We see shipbuilding, which is lovely. Factory production, research, and a quick little summary of those 3 tabs. But we don't see shipyard operations. So you manage shipyards. Wilson, you have no class assigned, which is why it's growing. So you're going to go to 30,000. You're just going to grow larger. Yeah, we're just going to do this. Set activity. You have 2 slipways. You need to add a slipway, but not yet. Probably not, actually. I mean, how many times are we going to want to churn out ships this way? We'll see. Still not running out of uranium. It's getting a little low. Gonna need to mine more really badly. But we are rolling out more mines, at least, which will increase the rate at which we deplete Earth and eventually the moon. Yeah, let's just keep chilling, keep going. Mineral exhausted. Temple Tuttle. That sounds like one of the civilian. Oops, I've got some steam alerts. Let me just close that. Exit. Never mind. That sounds like one of the civilian ones, and yes, they are. So what got exhausted? Corundium, which might have been the reason we were buying stuff. Yeah, so it's definitely not worth buying this. And we weren't buying this anyway. Well, never mind. One more tick. Ooh. Okay, so we did finish very large fuel storage. Moon is still being cranky all the time, and this happened, where things are just reassigned. Alright, so let's go back to what we were doing research-wise. Man, we need more labs. We need more everything. 4X games really do this to you. I think it's where the whole kind of one more turn phenomenon comes from. You're just always like, oh, that next thing I need to be really cool is right around the corner. It's very Skinner boxy, I guess, but in a nice way. In a nice way. There's not somebody like, well, except on phones, where it's like, pay. You wanna take another turn? Pay $100 for 5 time crystals. It really surprises me how popular mobile games have got, and how popular those ludicrously predatory practices have gotten. And if you're a phone dev, I understand you got to eat, but shame on you if you're basically just taking advantage of flaws in human psychology to make more money. That's really better than somebody selling meth or pokey, like tuning pokies or whatever for optimal addiction. It's a pretty dodgy thing to do with your life. Political rant. Anyway, it just bothers me. So we were doing sensors, which we wanted to improve because we were going to the 10k tech level, and missiles. Now we wanted to finish the warhead. This, by the way, doesn't mean it's almost finished. It means it's barely started. It ticks down. How many remaining out of this that we need to do? Yeah, so we wanted to do that. And Nathan Hardy. And we wanted to queue up some more stuff with Nathan Hardy, which was probably reload rate, because it's nice and fast. And ejection chance, because that's pretty essential. Feed efficiency is probably not super essential. We might want to get these, but probably not. I think if we're relying on Seaways, we're kind of sort of making a bigger mistake. I think Seaways is there just in case. And I think you can chuck one on commercial ships and still have them count as commercial. So if you've got expensive things, they can just sort of save you from like a single fighter taking a shot at you and just demolishing you. Alright. Alright. So yeah, we're back on that, and we can now design our tug. There's not a refresh button, so we have to just close and reopen that one. And we were hopping over to the grappling hook. Okay, so we want to pop this one off, and we want to go with very large fuel storage, which is, okay, that gives us, okay, we need 8 billion, so maybe more. Still pretty slow. How big would this be? 40,000-ish, I think. So we could go a little more, and I think we might want to chuck a few more engines on. Let's maybe just bolt 5 more on. Let's just do it. 10 billion, 5 more, 67, might be too large. Anyway, that's approximately what we want to do, I think. We might want to drop some engines, whack some fuel storage on there. So let's drop some of these modules that we don't need. Let's update the armor. New armor. Which make it a little smaller. We don't want this guy. 3 conscript. Okay, so we're under 60,000 tons, and I think we're pretty happy with where this is at generally. I think this is 3 million liters of fuel each time we haul out one of these things. We might have some regrets about that, but we shouldn't be moving too many of them. I don't think we'll have too many, maybe 3. There is a limit on how fast rats procreate. So yeah, okay, we'll go with this. That seems pretty okay to me, actually. That seems pretty okay. So we got a grappling hook Mark II. We will obsolete the Mark 1, or the implied Mark 1. And so that needed a 60 thou. In fact, I will make a note of it at the end of the episode. But I definitely will. I'm not lying to you. So yeah, 60,000 shipyard. So cool. So if we look over at industry, so we have 160 thou. It's building a gate constructor. Build 2. Pop over. 2 gate constructors should be adequate. Maybe even overkill. Alright, there are other things we could design, but not quite any point yet, because I think it doesn't make sense to design the logistics systems for the military fleet until we actually know some stuff about its requirements. And hey, like, while I'm a little nervous that we're going to massively underspec it and it's going to be super ineffective, it will give me an idea of how quickly maintenance stacks up as you go, the longer the maintenance clock runs. Actually, that's something to consider. I don't think there's any way to increase overhaul speed, so the longer the maintenance clock is, the longer ships are going to have in overhaul at any one time. Although I suppose, yeah, so that's something to consider in terms of number of ships we might need. Really, nothing is happening. I guess we are just doing a big construct. These mines are they're halfway done, so I think we'll get them done in the construction factories. Then we'll churn out some of these old labs. Which is just another year. I don't think we're going to be ready with the tugs and so on until that's done, maybe. We need more minerals anyway, right? Like, we just, it's a fact, you know? We got a lot of mines. What do we got on the moon? Still so many years to depletion, but such rubbish accessibility. I kind of want to... I'm really worried we're going to burn Space Earth and then just really scrounge and struggle because we're sort of relying on having this nice high accessibility. Well, that said, it's dropping quite a bit as things get mined out. Yeah. YOLO. The only thing we don't have giant stockpiles of is uranium, mercasium, boronite we use a fair bit of. Apparently, or we just never had much to start with. What about, is there a bunch of that on the moon? There is, low accessibility. And the other thing is, we're losing thorium, I think, slowly, or we will be soon. But, yeah, it's mostly uranium that we're really struggling with. Yeah, Wolf Harrington doing stuff that doesn't really matter. I suppose the civilians will set up mining colonies once we get some gates online. Which is... That'll probably help. Provided we've colonied all the places we want to mine anyway. I mean, we can just buy it. I mean, I think we can just double up and chuck mines on a civilian colony. So, it's not the end of the world. I should check how is the moon doing. Environment on the moon. Yeah, what have we got? Oxygen out is 20%, yeah. And maybe we can get it down as low as 10%? I don't know. No, that's just because it's 0.2 atmospheres and we're doing 0.1. So the oxygen is going down there. Greenhouse gas. So we are... Let's just keep adding this, and we're not going to go over the temperature thing, and, you know, we'll make the moon a nicer place to live. Our rats will be happy. Oh, I want that gate ship online. I want to begin expanding. I suppose, what was the best system? I think it was Wolf, so we might hook Wolf up first. Although Lemon was something we were thinking of doing too. I could probably do bigger chunks right now. I mean, we've got long queues, so it's not the end of the world. Loading problem. Failed to load or automated mines. So where are we taking them? Back to Space Earth, I assume. Yeah, we are. We got 50 on Space Earth. Okay. We can't automatically take them anywhere else, and I have limited patience. So we want to grab the... okay. So heavy shipping will pick up the... No, we can't take the mass driver yet, can we? Because there's still a stockpile and we want to remove it all. How long is this going to take? Every 5 days, 20... 20 into 4,000 is... what? Actually, it's just it's about a year, isn't it? Because a mass driver has a capacity of I want to say 5,000 tons. How many mass drivers do you have? 2, yeah, 5,000 tons. So if we look at Dembalska, yeah. So I'll just I'll try to remind myself that in 2 years we will strip these off Dembalska, and it will just be a rock, an empty rock. What do we want to mine? Okay, we've got uranium and thorium there. We're going to use a lot of fuel soon. Wouldn't be the worst thing. Pretty good place to mine here, I think. It'll be over pretty quickly. Yep. Alright, this is what we're doing. I hope so. Alright, this is the right call. Yep. We're going to do this. And, alright. You're demanding 50 automated mines. And you are demanding 1 mass driver. Why aren't these getting supplied? Oh, because Earth isn't supplying 50 automated mines. Supply 50 automated mines. So that should go over there pretty happily. Okay, so sometime in 65. How many mines do you have? 100. What's your industry looking like? Getting there. Man, it takes a really long time to retool big shipyards. Maybe that's a reason not to make them too big. 30, 40, 10? 30, 40, 10, I think. I had a plan, maybe. Maybe we want to get some construction factories on the moon. I don't think it really helps. Like, industry isn't more efficient if it's split up. Yeah, because it's just based on this. Like, we've got, if your colony sucks, more people are required in the agricultural sector. But the amount of industry you can support is just population based. So I suppose if you want to have like a big forward base, you need to get people there, and that's an issue. But yeah, whatever. Right, heavy shipping. Can't do anything right now, so you're gonna go home, and you are going to just move to Space Earth. That's fine. Light shipping. Oh, apparently we finished the ship and I skipped past it. Oh, we should have been building another too, because we wanted shipyard task group. Yeah, we wanted 5, I believe. Let's add you to that one and give you an order to join light shipping. So we'll want to roll out one more of these. And we might want to roll out another 5 later on, but no point now. Who's got the Talent Mark III? You do. Build me another one, please. Thank you. And I think that clears out most of our stockpile of useful parts. Yeah, we just got these geosurvey centers. They might just sit there forever. We should also probably clear your orders. So it tells you how far to the next order, but it doesn't tell you where you are. maybe like a, I don't know, probably actually really difficult to do just computationally without slowing everything down. But nearest celestial body, or like last left celestial body, would actually be computationally cheap, I think. Maybe. Yeah, and actually that would let you know where it was, because you could look at where it was heading and where it used to be, and if this was like an out of X, you could get a rough idea of where it was. Alpha, yeah, we need to clear all your orders. So you are currently heading to Dembalska, I think. So we will just remove all, and you will move to Space Earth. That'll be fine. Yep. Cool. We will use you, I think, later, light shipping, to cart minerals around between the, at least one fleet, between the jump gates. Shipping completed orders, right? Yeah. This thing's whining at me. All right. Ooh, I was just checking the time. A little bit over. It's always very exciting to get back to this game after a week away. What are all these little green dots? Let's check them out. I have no idea what these are. They're heading from Space Earth. Is that, does that show civilian contract? If we turn on, I know I said it was time. Yeah, it does. Cool. It's showing me the civilian shipping. Okay, so they're doing that. I was a bit worried it was all super bugged. We should have a mining colony. Oh, nobody's arrived there yet. The mass driver is, so we will point you at Space Earth. Cool. Yeah, alright, so that's about time. Very exciting to be back. I will see you in the next episode. Thanks.